Today, we're diving headfirst into the incredibly high-stakes world of the Nigerian corporate drama Steel and Silk. We're stepping right into a battlefield where intense professional ambition and passionate romance don't just meet, they dangerously collide. The grand prize for all this chaos? The massive seafront development project. It's a story that's completely packed with wild twists, but honestly, it also delivers some genuinely profound real-world lessons about navigating the corporate grind. Right off the bat, this story forces us to confront a really fascinating question. Can you ever truly mix business with your absolute biggest rival? It's the core tension of the entire plot, that incredibly blurry, often dangerous line between cutthroat professional competition and deep romantic entanglement. It's exactly the kind of scenario that pushes people to their absolute limits, both in the boardroom and behind closed doors. So let's meet the players. In one corner, we've got Elena Cross. She is the brilliant, ultra-strategic CEO of Nova Core Structures. And sitting squarely in the opposite corner is Ethan Cole, the fiercely competitive and ambitious head of Apex Building Group. Both of these leaders are just remarkably driven. I mean, they are completely 100% determined to crush each other to win this seafront bid. They're true titans of industry, and neither one has an ounce of quit in them.
But you know how these things go. The competition does not stay professional for long. We're talking a massive, staggering escalation of corporate sabotage. First, they're engineering falsified positive drug tests just to humiliate each other in front of the committee. Then, it escalates to hacking into each other's company audits to dig up hidden financial skeletons. Elena actually goes as far as literally handcuffing Ethan to a bed so he misses a crucial presentation. Which, let's be honest, is a uniquely aggressive approach to calendar management. They're doing absolutely everything they can to ruin each other's reputations before Mr. Claxton, the committee chairman.
And honestly, there is one line that perfectly sums up this ridiculously toxic phase of their rivalry. Elena says it best. "This is war, darling. Get used to it." That was their mindset. They genuinely believed that absolutely nothing was off limits. This wasn't a friendly rivalry or standard business negotiation. This was a no-holds-barred battlefield where the normal rules of corporate engagement were just entirely thrown out the window. That sheer desperation pushes them both into some highly unethical territory. Ethan tries to secretly slide a bribe to Chairman Claxton, offering him 3% of the project's overall budget. Elena, not to be outdone, goes even further and offers a massive 7%. But Claxton, he firmly rejects both offers. It's such a fantastic reminder that true leadership and integrity actually can't be bought, no matter how much money you throw at the problem. Claxton demands pure competence, not kickbacks. Okay, so right when Elena and Ethan think their biggest nightmare is each other, a mysterious third competitor emerges for the bid, a company called Skyline Infrastructures. And the reveal here is just brutal. The mastermind behind Skyline is none other than Michael. Yep, Elena's deeply trusted right-hand man, and the very same mold she had initially planted in Ethan's office to cause chaos. Talk about backfiring. The ultimate betrayal comes from right inside her own inner circle. When confronted, Michael's justification for stealing Elena's templates and secretly bidding against her is honestly chilling. He says, in order to be the best, you have to become the best. It's a devastating betrayal, but, it actually creates the perfect pivot for us. It transitions this narrative from pure soapy drama into some incredibly valuable real-world business lessons we can pull from all this chaos. The first huge takeaway revolves entirely around vigilance against internal threats. It is absolutely vital to maintain close, transparent communication with your team. You've got to be deeply plugged into the team dynamics so you can spot it when loyalty starts shifting. Think about it. Michael weaponized his inside access to steal proprietary strategies for his own gain. Protecting your core business assets means making absolutely sure the people guarding them are truly on your side, and that requires highly active, empathetic leadership. So, this stunning betrayal forces a major turning point. Elena and Ethan wake up and realize that continuing their path of mutually assured destruction is basically just going to hand a multi-million-dollar victory straight to Michael. They have to pivot, and fast. They make the incredibly tough choice to drop their massive egos, combine their unique structural and design strengths, and present a completely unified front to the committee. It's like night and day. When they were divided, they were incredibly vulnerable to sabotage, and their solo strategies were totally predictable to an insider like Michael. But as a unified force, they become an absolute powerhouse. NovaCore and Apex join forces, pooling their immense resources to build a joint bid that boasts unbeatable quality. They essentially create a proposal that is completely unassailable, which highlights the immense power of strategic collaboration. True business savvy often means having the flexibility to prioritize shared goals way above your own petty personal rivalries. It's about looking at the entire board, realizing you have a common threat, and being totally willing to partner up with your worst enemy if it means combining your unique assets for a much greater impact. It demands the agility to completely pivot your strategy the second the landscape shifts. Now, beneath all this intense corporate maneuvering, we definitely have to talk about the completely different kind of tension brewing between them. You're my poison, you're my fix. Their cutthroat professional rivalry actually fueled a deeply passionate romance. They were literally sleeping with the enemy, navigating a dynamic that felt just as toxic as it was magnetic. So, how on earth do they manage to keep their new joint venture from completely imploding under the weight of all these messy feelings? Well, they make a very deliberate, conscious choice to strictly separate their worlds. In the boardroom, it is all about absolute professionalism and crystal clear boundaries. But in their personal lives, they intentionally create space for trust, vulnerability, and finally letting down those massive protective walls they've both built up. And there's a really critical lesson here for us on navigating love and work. Balancing a highly demanding career with a complex relationship requires setting incredibly firm professional boundaries. You have to communicate openly and honestly about any potential conflicts of interest. By keeping the boardroom and your personal life totally distinct, you protect the business from emotional fallout, and you protect the relationship from the crazy stresses of the corporate grind. You basically ensure that one doesn't accidentally destroy the other. Spoiler alert, their collaborative strategy pays off beautifully. They achieve the ultimate success. By joining forces, Ethan and Elena deliver a spectacular presentation and successfully win the massive seafront development project together. But even more importantly, they win each other's hearts. They finally drop the casual facade and commit to a real, boundary-respecting relationship, proving once and for all that they can conquer both the ruthless corporate world and their own deep fears of vulnerability. As we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a final provocative thought to chew on. Where do you draw the line between competition, collaboration, and romance? Seriously, think about your own boundaries in life and business, because as we've seen, sometimes your absolute greatest rival can actually become your greatest asset if you're willing to take the risk and embrace collaboration. Thank you so much for joining me to unpack the fascinating world of steel and silk. Keep asking the tough questions, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.